Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about the tympanic membrane. The contents of this video include the embryology, anatomy and the MCQs of the tympanic membrane. First we will see about the tympanic membrane embryology. Tympanic membrane is mainly developed when the first ectodermal cleft meets the first endodermal pouch with a mesoderm in between them to form tympanic membrane. Tympanic membrane is developed from the three embryonic layers, that is ectoderm, endoderm and the mesoderm. Now we will see the anatomy of tympanic membrane. Tympanic membrane is present at an angle of 55 degrees with the horizontal, which has the longest diameter of 10 mm and shortest diameter of 9 mm. So the surface area is all about 90 mm square. And the effectory vibratory area is 55 mm square. So you can remember the angle and the effective vibratory area is same, and color of the tympanic membrane is pearly white. Tympanic membrane consists of two parts, that is pars tensa and pars flaccida. Pars tensa forms the 2/3 of the tympanic membrane, whereas pars flaccida form 1/3 of the tympanic membrane. Pars tensa, this is so called because it is firm and tense. This is mainly because its periphery is thickened to form a fibrocartilaginous ring called as annulus tympanicum, which fits tightly into the tympanic sulcus. And at the center, tympanic membrane is attached to the tip of the handle of the malleus, leading to the central tenting. This central tenting part is called as umbo. As it is fixed at the center, therefore the periphery part is more mobile. Now we will see about pars flaccida. Pars flaccida is a triangular area which is present above the lateral process of the malleus between the anterior and posterior malleolar folds. Why it is called as pars flaccida? Because it is loose or flaccid, as the middle fibrous layer here contains loosely arranged collagen fibrils, and it is devoid of fibrocartilaginous ring and tympanic annulus. This deficient area is called as notch of Rivinus. This is the upper attachment of pars flaccida. This is also called as Sharpnell's membrane. As pars flaccida being flaccid, therefore it is more susceptible to retraction whenever the pressure in the middle ear becomes negative due to the eustachian tube blockage. Hence, this is the most commonest site for retraction pocket formation, which leads to the primary cholesteatoma formation. Tympanic membrane consists of three layers. As we have seen, it is developed from the three layers, that is ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. The outer epithelial layer or circular layer, which is formed by the ectoderm, it continues with the skin of the external ear. The middle fibrous layer, which is formed from the mesoderm, has circular, radial and parabolic fibers. This is not well organized in the pars flaccida. Inner mucosal layer, which is formed from the endoderm, it continues with the middle ear mucosa. Now we will draw two imaginary lines which divide the tympanic membrane into four quadrants. First imaginary line is drawn passing through the handle of the malleus, and the second line is drawn perpendicular to the first line but passing through the umbo. It forms the four quadrants, that is posterior-superior, anterior-superior, posterior-inferior and antero-inferior. The posterior-superior quadrant contains the shadow of the incudostapedial joint, and the antero-superior quadrant consists of shadow of the eustachian tube, and the antero-inferior quadrant consists of cone of light. Cone of light is nothing but the reflection of the handle of malleus due to the obliquity of the tympanic membrane. This is mainly due to the angular alignment of the tympanic membrane. Whenever the light of the otoscope falls on the tympanic membrane, it is reflected as the cone of light. And in the posterior inferior quadrant, we can see the shadow of the round window. Then how will differentiate between the right and left eardrum? That is how we can tell whether it is a left or right tympanic membrane. In the right tympanic membrane, we can see the cone of light between the 4 to 5 o'clock position, between the 4 and 5 o'clock. And in the left tympanic membrane, we can see the cone of light at the 7 o'clock position. Try to answer some of the MCQs. What is the color of the tympanic membrane? Pearly white, pink, red, blue. The normal color of tympanic membrane is pearly white. Pars flaccid of tympanic membrane, also called as Schaffner's membrane, Resiner's membrane, basilar membrane, secondary tympanic membrane. Pars flaccid is also called as Schaffner's membrane. The most mobile part of tympanic membrane, central, peripheral, both, none of the above. As the central part of the tympanic membrane, the umbo is fixed. The peripheral part is more mobile. So the answer is peripheral. Cone of light is mainly due to the malleolar fold, handle of malleus, anterior inferior quadrant, stapes. Cone of light is mainly the reflection of the handle of malleus due to the obliquity of the tympanic membrane. So the answer is handle of malleus. Effective vibratory area of tympanic membrane, 30, 35, 40, 45. The answer is 45. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.